Hey everybody. My name, for those that don't know me, is Wesley Cole, and this is my dad, Keith Cole. We recently took over the Alabama Crappie Master State Trail, and kind of just wanted to take a minute, to go over what we've done, how we're trying to make things better. Feel like a video may, reach some people a little bit better than maybe just putting out a post. Kind of get to know us a little bit. We feel like we put out a pretty fair schedule, as far as just the logistics, for everybody. Try to reduce travel, across the board with the way things are now with inflation and whatnot. But been on the phone a lot with people trying to get some support, to increase payouts. That's been a big issue, with crappie trails everywhere is the payouts. The payouts ain't good, but I'm an angler. I'm really not a tournament director. Never aspired to be a tournament director. It was kind of one of those things that it was either take over or no state trail kind of thing. But we decided to do it, and we're not just gonna try to halfway do it. We're gonna try to do it to the best of our ability. But I feel like we've accomplished a lot in a short period of time. With increasing, some support throughout the state, and really surprising that there is quite a few people out there eager to support a crappie trail, which was not something that we expected. Uh, just from years past. You know, these we get local support from the destinations. Some better than others. There is one lake on the map that's kind of been a little bit of a hiccup, but we're not gonna go into a whole lot of detail on that one. But we was just kind of acting as we made the schedule and stuff off of leads that we had. We had a 5-day window, 6-day window from the time we took over till the crappie masters actually needed a schedule as they started updating their website. So I mean, it was kind of stretched, and we was working off of leads from other contacts to kind of do the schedule. And then today, as far as going along with increasing the payouts, we put out a post last week. We made that post
Which post?
about the $1,500 points champion.
About 2 weeks ago, maybe 10 days ago, on that post.
So, as of today, November the 3rd, that will increase. Had somebody want to sponsor that wanted their money to go towards the points champion. So now the points champion will be a guaranteed payout as of November the 3rd of $2,500. Then to kick it off on Neely, we're going to be looking at. We put that post out, $1,000 first, $500 second, and $250 third. That's before anybody shows up. Then obviously if we increase the turnout, then we're going to increase the payout. But 10% out of every tournament is going to go towards the classic. Then we'll retain the 10% director fee to kind of cover some of our expense, not necessarily for the travel to the tournaments, because I mean, we're fishermen. We want to fish them too. I'll probably fish all of them. The ones I can't, I'll probably still be there to do weigh in. And if I can't be there altogether, I work a 12-hour swing. He'll be there to deal with being weighmaster and stuff on those days. But we're trying to build a trail by fishermen for fishermen. I know there's a lot of discussion, in all trails, that all the extra money goes in the director's pocket or whatever, and that's not what we're trying to do. Ideally one day, if we got it grown big enough to where our expenses were paid for orchestrating the trail. But but the guys fishing the tournament, they, that's first priority to us. So, and I know we're not going to satisfy everybody. You knew that getting into it. He's been in business, and I grew up in that. And you just can't please everybody when you're dealing with a group of people or just the general public. So, but we're hoping that to generate some excitement, some turnout. We've had what, 6 or 7, people inbox wanting to know how to get involved that's never even fished a crappie tournament. So, and that kind of goes along why I kind of got to the idea of starting the Alabama Crappie TV YouTube page. I had dabbled with, making videos and stuff, but was never just really that adamant about it. But in hopes that maybe some of the content I put out, and being able to do stuff like this, because it feels like, you're talking to us through the video instead of just, reading a post. But that, try to help new people coming in, because that's like what fished, started tournament fishing this year. We did. And if it hadn't been for the guys on the trail trying to help, willing to help, willing to give information, 2 guys in particular that really helped me was Kevin McCarley, and then had the pleasure of meeting John and Jessica, at Wheeler. And they didn't know me from nobody, and Wheeler, the state championship this year was, it was rough. It was terrible fishing, and we found fish, just couldn't get them to bite. And I straight up asked him, man, how did you catch those? I lived 15 minutes from the boat ramp. He come from across the state and beat us all. So, but he was more than willing to share that information. And then kind of with the live sonar and like angles and the kind of stuff that he broke down was kind of where I was at with it at that point. Some of the information he gave me kind of helped me take another step or 2 forward. So, those guys, and there's more of them than just them. That's just who I connected with, over this past year through the state trail. There's other ones that it's the same way, same caliber people that, crappie fishing, I guess, it still kind of is a lot smaller knit group than catfishing. Catfishing's blew up pretty big in different parts of the country, and bass fishing's always been number one. But these crappie guys, you'll be amazed that for those of you that has never fished a tournament, at the information they're willing to give. And like even on these national trails, you meet Steve Coleman, you meet Eric Cagle, Patrick Stone, Ronnie Capps. The list goes on and on. And I've never met Hayden Jeffries, which is he's the man right now. By a long shot. But this dude's in his early 20s. So to me, I'm hoping that excites some of the younger generation, that crappie fishing is not an old man's game anymore. The electronics and everything has totally changed the landscape of it. It shortened learning curves, because guys can go out efficiently and find these brush piles and stumps and all this stuff that only Grandpa knew about because he fished for so long. It took him 30 years to put together spots like that, and where they was the ones dropping the brush piles. So now guys have the capability to go out and never drop a brush pile and find every one of them. That we do a lot of that here, even on our home lakes. It's crappie fishing now, as far as tournaments go, is going to be easier to get involved and have success than it ever was. Just because it's not going to take, it doesn't take as long to kind of, figure some things out or be efficient on the water. With the electronics now, you don't have to come in to fish a tournament and come in on Saturday, Sunday, and to fish a Friday, Saturday tournament the next weekend, because you can figure something out in just a few hours, even a day. Like we went to the national championship in Grenada this time, Crappie Masters, and and had a day and a half and was able to, kind of put together with a pretty stacked field and put together enough to fish a 2 day tournament, which was our first one, and finished 47 out of 172, and finished in front of a lot of guys that I look up to, so there's a lot of good fishermen down there. So, yeah, I mean, we're hoping that, to help the new people coming in, those of you that choose to do so. I mean, you're going to learn, if you've never fished Weiss, Weiss fish is different than these lakes. Where I live, 10 minutes from Russellville, Alabama, so we got some watershed reservoirs right here down the road that they fish different than like Weiss Lake. I've never been on Neely. Weiss and Pickwick Wilson's the only two on the whole schedule that I've actually ever even been on and fished. But and that's exciting to me to get to go to Alabama River and Lake Jordan and Mitchell and Neely and all these other places, just because I know I'm going to learn something, because there's going to be things that's different about these lakes than lakes that I have fished in the state. So, and then Logan Martin for the Classic, I've never been on it either. So we feel pretty good with where we're at, and and we're getting progress each day. As far as people wanting to support what we're doing. Uh, some of the sponsorships, there's not a lot of money. Some of them has been better. Uh, but I mean, and that's kind of where we're at with it. We're just trying to make a trail that benefits everybody involved. I kind of look at it like, it's kind of like Powerball. The bigger the Powerball, the more people that buy lottery tickets. So we're kind of hoping that, as we continue to increase payouts, that we're going to increase turnouts. And that's not been a thing, here in recent years, and that's not a knock to nobody before. But him having 30-something years of business and stuff like that, he's got some people that he's worked with over the years, that some connections that even me, I wouldn't have had. So we're hoping that together, working together on a trail, it doesn't put the burden on just one person, that that we can put together a state trail that's comparable to Mississippi or Georgia or even Florida. There's no reason why we can't. The lakes are here, the fishermen's here. It's just getting people excited to show up and play. But we're gonna do what we can right here in year one, and hope for the best, and let the chips fall where they may. Kind of on how this plays out, but hoping just to gain some momentum, and then start building towards year two. Here sometime in the spring, start getting that schedule put together, getting stuff put into fruition for the next season, and that gives us more time to get it all orchestrated, and try to find people that want to support it. It's really been shocking at how many people want to support a crappie trail, and excited to have a crappie tournament coming to their lake. So, but at this time, I'm gonna let him. He's kind of been dealing with more of the sponsorship side of it, as far as recognizing, for everybody watching, who is, at this point, who we've accumulated to support our Alabama State Trail. So.
Okay, everybody really don't know me at all, because I'm not no crappie fisherman. I've catfished my whole life, and Wesley sort of taught me a little bit in the last 2 or 3 years. And I guess when I fish in some of the tournaments, I'm gonna be the net man, or have a pole out the back like Weiss Lake, and caught one fish out of 7, but my fish was the biggest one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On a cork and a minnow. But me being in business over 35 years, with multiple businesses, I wanted to reach out and make this better than it has been in a long time. I've listened to people talk about the crappie tournaments used to be nothing less than 50 boats, and have 100 boats there. And I've been to some of these tournaments and it'd be 12 boats, 5 boats. So I reached out to people that don't even fish. They just businesses, sort of sponsorships. I call it an advertisement packet. Some of them that do a little more. We're going to put their logos on the weigh-in trailer that we're going to take with us every tournament. I'm going to do a little social media exposure for them. We may do several of these little videos to post to recognize those people. I want to shout out to all of the lakes that had a short period of time trying to schedule dates, because like Wesley said, this was handed over with just a short period to get lakes and dates confirmed and make sure it didn't have anything else going on. And once he got those dates, then started talking to lakes. We got some that's really excited. Weiss Lake, got their fingers crossed that we can push this back from years ago, where they had 100 boats and 50 boats, 75 boats at these tournaments. They're going to help us a little bit with some monies in the first year. Want to partner up maybe for next year if this year goes good. See how it goes, but everything being so late getting control, a lot of people's budgets was gone for the year, or they already got budgets made for 2023 that was approved 2 or 3 weeks before we got started. So we was, I say, fighting an uphill battle. But I want to shout out to Weiss Lake, going to support. Neely Henry just got a call yesterday, and they're going to be very supportive. Got her information today. She's going to promote there, because she said she'd like to see 50 to 100 boats there in December. So she's going to help us. I didn't even ask her, but she's excited. Lake Jordan, the gentleman there is very excited. Lake Mitchell, next week I'll know what Lake Mitchell is going to help us through the commerce there, Coosa County, Chilton County areas. Logan Martin for the Classic, they're working on something to help us increase the payouts when we come there. We still got a couple more lakes that we're trying to locate the right person to talk to on those, and I believe we're going to get some support for those as well. And I just want to go back and hit on a point or two that Wesley had made about the payouts. 8 or 10 days ago, that's when we had somebody that guaranteed $1,500 for the points champion. I don't know if it's ever been a payout for that. I know they got a plaque, but to me, when the money comes, that entices people to fish those tournaments and more of them. That's made some people say they're fishing all 6 because they want the money. Well, today, that person's come back, and now that's going to be $2,500. We haven't changed it because it was so late in the afternoon when I got that phone call. We're going to do that tomorrow, but now $2,500 for the points champion and a plaque. We've got some monies that's come in that helped us guarantee the first post we posted for Neely Henry, where we had first, second, and third payout of $1,500 and $250. I don't know when one of those tournaments have paid $1,500 and $250. Then when we got yesterday a call back from the lady at Neely Henry, and going to have some more money there, we reposted today what the scenario would be for a 30 boat tournament, and that was going to pay 6 places. Also, to the bottom right corner, you will see that original post if it's less than that. If we have 35 boats, we're going to increase the payout 1 more spot. So every 5 spots over 30, that payout's going to be bigger, and it's going to be more spots. We're going to give plaques for first, second, third, and the big fish. I'm working on something for the big fish. naturally the big fish pot all goes to the winner. But I'm working on different lakes. I've got 2 people that want to, say, sponsor the big fish. So say we have 20 people that enter the big fish, that's $500 for that big fish. And if they add 500, that means that particular tournament's gonna have $1,000 big fish payout. So I'm working hard. It really don't benefit me. I'm trying to help improve things for all of you guys and gals that finish or fish the trail. Um, I had somebody tell me, well, you running it like a business or something. I don't mean to run it like a business, but in all of my years, you got to promote. And if you don't promote something, if it's from fishing to vinyl siding to roofing, it's not going to do very well. So I'm sitting back in the back on the phone for hours, countless hours, getting these dates and these trails. And I feel like it's sort of fair to everyone this year. I've had some people say, well, we don't got but one tournament in the north. If you look at the map, technically there's 3 that's in the northern part, and you've got 3 that's in the southern part. I've even had a comment that we don't have none in the south. Well, we get down close to Montgomery, Clanton, in that area. This is just the first year with 6 days to put it together. A learning experience. I've already got some people that couldn't do anything this year but wanted me to get with them in March and April for next year. Even had one city call and want to talk about using a boat ramp in that particular city. Told me to call back in March so we could get something planned and a date, because they do their budget in June. So I don't know, after we do this, they may not want us to be director, but if as long as they do, I'm going to keep pushing to make it bigger and better every tournament. I want to really post one about a guaranteed payout, but that one's all the way down in May and Jordan in April. So somewhere around the first of the year, we'll have a little more insight on what those are going to be guaranteed for.
Yeah, because I mean we've kind of been trying to build it, what's closest to the ship, and want to kind of iterate on something he hit. Like some of these places, ain't they're not paying like set amounts due to other trails that's came in, and they taking this money and then there's no turnout. But they're wanting to do is pay by the boat. Different ones have been different amounts, but pay out by the turnout. So that means that's where that 30 boat scenario come into play. With what they was wanting to pay, because a few of them put a cap on it, pay a certain amount per boat, but we're going to cap it at this year, and then see how this goes, and then go from there. So, and that's understandable. They want to play it safe. They're using taxpayer money to, feed their economy, their local economy, and so when they're writing big checks, and really they're spending more money than what they're bringing in. I mean, I get it. It's kind of a business, but we're just hoping to build some good relationships with these people, do right on our end, and for the years to come. Because I know the trails changed hands, seemingly every year, but if at all possible, we're going to try to maintain some consistency here with it, and try to kind of set the tone for if the day comes that we do step down, and that you've kind of set the tone to this is what it could be, this is what it should be. So maybe whoever comes in after us, whenever that day may be, and it may be not ever, as long as we're able to do it. But that's kind of where we're at, just trying to build relationships through the trail to and increase those payouts, but not just take people's money and kind of run with it, because then next year they're not going to give you no money, kind of thing. So it's just trying to be good, making good business deals for us and them alike. Because I mean, we all know that's been involved with the state trail, the turnout's been poor in comparison to other state trails. So we don't really have nothing to sell to them, because we don't know what the turnout's going to be yet. But we're hoping to gain some momentum with that, to use that as a selling point going into year two, to make those payouts even better, and be more enticing for people to want to be a sponsor of the state trail. So
And that's one of the first questions talking to these people at these locations. Well, how many boats we looking at? And I've always been honest with them that I don't know. This is my first year doing this. That we're going to try to push it to the max. And I just got one last thing I want to say is I appreciate the work from Neely Henry, Weiss Lake, Lake Jordan, Lake Logan Martin. We still got some things at the other locations. We just hadn't got that pinpointed out. And then I want to shout out, mention 3 or 4 of the sponsors that actually have helped increase those. My first check that I picked up was Mid City Real Estate, located in Huntsville, Alabama. Tony and Kyra Parker has worked with me in my real estate business, selling houses. Let me know when there's good deals on houses to buy, fix up, and flip. Next person I got a check from, bought a lot of equipment, tractor, backhaul things from them, was Haney Equipment in Athens, and I got a location in Coleman. And just recently they've started selling boats and fishing things. So we got a sponsor for Haney Marine and Outdoors, same locations as in Athens and Coleman. I deal with Adam Haney. That's I think that is a family-owned operation. Want to shout out to my attorney for my real estate closings, Russell Ormstead. Offices in Athens, Madison, and Huntsville. I've dealt with Russell about 10 years now. Want to shout out to First National Bank, Athens location on Highway 72 in Athens. Made a contribution today. I've got about 20 more commitments, I think. Just having to hash out some numbers. Some may be bigger, some may be less, but it don't matter if it's $100 that they contribute. That's $100 going into the pot for some of y'all to take home. And in future videos, I'll still mention these same ones, but as we have new ones come on with us, I'll mention those as well.
You good?
I'm good.
Well, we hope to see.
I guess that old saying, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. That's it. That's it for today for me.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of covered, most everything that we was wanting to cover with this video. So, we're excited. I know I'm excited that we got back from Grenada and I've been on the water twice. So, kind of excited for Neely to get here, to get on the water. But I mean, we hope y'all are as excited as we are. And maybe Neely is where we build some momentum, have a good turnout that day, have a good tournament, some good payouts, and then in January we'll be at Alabama River.
Alabama River in January.
So hoping we can build on Neely, gain some momentum, and keep building on that through the year. So.
And that one was a little complicated to get approved because you had to go through the Army Corps of Engineers and they had to send a letter giving you permission to have a tournament there. So I spent a lot of hours putting it together.
Yeah. But we'll see y'all December 10th to kick it off, and just kind of see where it goes from there.